Alright, I'm not sure how much we lost there. I'm going to try to get the thing to play some kind of little ding when it stops recording. But I was talking about that. The good thing about the F being there in the E position is that when you do your E cage, alright, starting from the, remember our building blocks? I've got them right here. I've actually got them right on the guitar there. You see that? The building blocks, the S, I called it the S3S back then, but now it's S3L, and the S2L. Alright, so that 4, 5, that 3, 4, 5 is the S2L right there. And I can kind of show you that with the cursor. There it is, this one. With the shadow and everything. Okay, so you know, looking at this, all right, we go to 3, 4, 5 is the bottom of an S2L. Now, C is an easy one because you have an S2L right here, right? S2L, right there. 3, 5, 6 root. Then we go into like a warped S3S. Okay, 2, 3, 5, 6 root 2. And then we go into the top of another S3L right there. Alright? Now when we go into, when we want to do that F, where are we going to start with that? Okay? Now the F becomes root. So the 4 becomes a relative root. So we look back at our chart that we have right here and see where is root on that chart. Where is root? Root is on the top of the S3L there, and it's also on the top of the S3S. Okay, so it'd be 7 root 2. All right, and you know, you count up from there. Now these numbers here are going to confuse me, but if I'm in that F and I really want to use patterns, I'm going to go 7 root 2, okay, 7 root 2, then into an S2L, 3, 4, 5, okay, but we've got the Lydian. So the Lydian, we better start on a 4. We're not gonna reassign a root there because it wanted to hit the B flat. So we'll just play what we got here. All right, we could start on the 4. You can see how it's gonna look like a pentatonic E, and that's what it is. It looks like a pentatonic E. Look at this, short guy here, 2 longs, a short, warp over for the other 2. You know, so it's, all right. So there's some stuff to know about that because we're doing a pentatonic, it fits right in. We call it E shape, and that's the only E shape that fits right in there with the S2L right there. Now that's not an S2L, that's the top of an S2L and the bottom of an S3S. There's your 5, 6, warp over for the 7R2, top of the S3S. Or S3L. Alright, so that's important to remember how it fits in, and let's just do briefly, these guys are easier, okay? Now we're up the way a little bit. But remember, you can do all this even if this is the fret nut, because the warp brought the 7 over for us. Okay, normally that 7's over 1. See how, like in this case, it's 7R2, so the S3L would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7R2. Here, it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 warped over 7R2. Here's your fret nut. You can access it all in the C cage, the first 4 frets. All right. Up on the A cage, then we've got A, D, E. This is 1, 4, 5. A goes to 4 is a D. D goes to E, which is 5. Okay, the A shape is right here. Start 5, 6, R2, 3, 5, 6, R, Okay, and then 2, 3, 5, 6. That's your A shape, shaped like an A. All right, the D shape is the fourth. Here's the fourth leading the D shape. All right, here's your D shape on this in the C zone. People, you know, like I mentioned this last time, people don't really know that you can make a little C down up here on your guitar, right here, just by pressing the C. I'm putting my fingers where you're fretting it is. Okay. You can make a little D-shaped C right there, up there in the corner there. I always ignored that, like, no, that's not a whole chord, that's nothing. All right, so now we have a D-shaped F right there, and then E becomes an E shape. Now, whenever you think E, look for an E shape. So we've got 2, 5, 7. Why? Because in the fifth we've got 5, 7, 2. It's going to be second inversion for that E where you put your fingers. Okay, it's going to be 2, 5, 7. 2, 5, 7. There's your E shape, but there's other good things going on in the E shape, but we don't. I can't see them right now, but they're there. So moving right along here, we have another 1, 4, 5. Okay, so 1 is going to be the G shape. See the R in the G shape where you put your G? When you make your G, whenever you make a G, the double top and bottom of that G are going to be the key of that G. So that's C for me. So these guys would be C. All right, and then you go to a C-shaped F. You know, of course, right? Root 3, 5 there. You're going to have one string up is a perfect fourth up. You're going to have 4, 6 root there for the F. The 5, now this is what I want to explain to you. Here you got the G, here you got the C, then you got the D. The 5's in the D shape. Let's keep moving along because there's something that I have to explain to you again. And that is, now in this box here, I call it the root box. Okay, the E is going to be, if we consider this E to be the most important part, you can't play this box on the open string. You can't, because when you have the E there, okay, but for the C, we're going to have to go down, and this is going to be the fifth. So it'd be 1, 4, 5. Now E is 1, A is 4. Why is B not the fifth? Because in this case we have a C minus. So we're taking, and in the other case this was an E plus. You see how we had to move the E up a half a fret, half step. So that's really an E plus relative to the C box. Over here we have a C minus relative to the R box. So that C is going to be down here. All right, and we have 5, 7, 2, 5 because it's a C-shaped 5, which would be a G. That's what I needed to show you about that row in this chart. So we're moving right along. This is a very important chart. Okay, so we get to the point where we have these are the all notes. These are all modal notes. 7 root 2 3 4 5 6 7 root 2 3 4 every single note. Okay, but once you start breaking it down, these columns go with each one of these things. All right, we're running out of time in this segment, but it's cool because that way I don't have to get too complicated. So each one of these columns goes with this. There's 7 modes. There's the C, the D, the E, and then the E-shaped F we were talking about right here, okay? So it's E, E, G, the A, and the C minus. And it spells caged. C, okay, I mean, it's going up a pentatonic scale. C, D, E, G, A. Okay, Okay, it goes up a pentatonic scale. This way it spells caged as you go up your fretboard.